If you're interested in how I made this traveler's notebook, please keep watching. A traveler's notebook using a book cover. I have an old book cover here. If you want to see another notebook that I made a video right before this. I destroyed a handbag and I thought I would repurpose some of its parts. Okay, if you're not familiar with traveler's notebooks, then this is new to you, but basically it's a notebook that you can travel with, and it has a refillable center, so you can just swap out little notebooks or pads. Let me show you. These are the typical ones. If you want just a smaller one, this is a bit bigger than the normal size, but this is still a 6 by 9, I believe, so it's still pretty small. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing today. I like this because I can go ahead and customize it to my liking, decorate it however I want. It doesn't have to be made with leather. You don't have to buy the $300 one. And yeah, let's get started. So if you don't want to use a book cover, then there's so many other materials that you can use. You can use like laminate plastic, and yeah, there's just so many ways to get them done. Let me fix my mic because I feel like it's brushing against me here. Some traveler's notebooks, most of them, I believe they have 3 holes here. I only have enough space for 2 in here, which is completely fine. It's still going to work out. And before I continue, I'm going to make those 2 holes here, because once I put this book cover in, I can just go through it with this, because this is not real leather. Yeah, so we're doing this DIY, easy, quick. You don't have to think about it too much. Let me just make the markings here. Let me bring you a bit closer. You're not going to see the little black dots that I put there. Just gonna punch this through. Awesome. Cool. So now let's get to covering this. Pretty simple, fun activity. And I know this will be obviously 2 pieces. There will be a seam here. I don't care. I can put any straps as like decoration. You can add lining to this if you want. I'm not going to bother with all of that. I always say I start at the edge. I flatten out that glue just so it doesn't get chunky. And there you go. And I want to work with this a bit at a time. And like I always say on these videos, I don't like things to get chunky, so as you can see, I use the side of my glue gun to flatten out that glue. Covered one side, now it's time to cover the other side. Going to do a bit at a time. So now that I cut that, going to put the smallest amount of glue here in the corner. Glue that corner down. Unfortunately, this corner already had a hole. I don't want to pull too much because, again, this isn't real leather. This is going to fall apart slightly, which makes me think I should have lined it, but it's all right. You bring in closer so you see what I'm doing here, but just going in with the glue gun, making sure this is in there. Nice. So now that we have the holes here, as you can see, this paper has now yellowed, and I have paper that I can use there. This one's a bit thick. I don't want to use my watercolor paper. I have this one here, and that's perfect. And then I'll do the same thing. This I'll just glue in with purple glue, and I'll do the edges with the glue gun. Yep, that's good. Now let me just do this one. This one here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you out for this part. I'll just use a bunch of purple glue, the middle. And I could have left this alone, honestly, but I want it to feel almost brand new. That purple glue worked wonders in here. This is the glue that I use, just in case you're wondering. And this is really sturdy glue. I don't know if there's a difference between this brand and other ones, but yeah, it's a bit insane. I know regular Gorilla Glues are already pretty hefty, so I don't know if they do something special to this glue as well. Special formula. Awesome. Glue gun be gone now. And purple glue, done with that as well. Now we have a beautiful covered book. Let me just take some of this trash away. Now I want to apologize for this next portion. Unfortunately, the footage of me threading through the elastic in the holes is completely corrupt, so I couldn't use that footage. I will say that I added a third hole. Initially I put in 2 because I thought 3 wouldn't fit, but 3 do fit, so that's what you see here is looping everything through. I wrote it on the actual screen here for you, but honestly I feel like that overcomplicates things. It's not that complicated. You just grab your elastic, you loop it through horizontally and vertically, obviously, so you can have where to put those inserts. Now, if you wanted to have a specific way of doing this, that is why I have it on the screen. If you only have 2 holes, then just do that, loop it horizontally down and up again. And you can also do this with 1 hole. You don't need 3 of them. Now, the reason why there's so many here is because I will be putting a lot of my inserts in there, and that's why, but you don't need so many loops. Just throwing that out there, okay? Hopefully it's not that complicated for you. I will try to make another video again in the future, and making sure that that footage works. Now I'm going to glue this down. Awesome. And now we can put our inserts in. You can choose to put the knot in there or the other end. Now you have that in there. And then you can use another band in here for another one, or what I do is put these together. Ooh, focus. And grab a band, a rubber band, or they have kits where you have these bands, and then you can put the band in between both, like this. And you have those together, as you can see. Now you can put multiple ones in there, refill it. If this bothers you at the bottom, you know, from the actual book cover, then you can go ahead and cover that as well. But we did it. How cool is that? You have your own little notebook. If I wanted, I can also put in this one here. If you want different sizes, that works too. But that's pretty much how you make it. So I'm going to just glue those down there. I you in a little bit. And it works out because then I get to cover little holes here. I guess I couldn't go higher because of the, if I'm trying to cover these. Now let's move this out of the way. I have all of this left and I can use this for another project, which I'm excited for. It is time to go work out now, so, and begin editing. All right. Well, all right, this is the finished product. Love that hardware that I added. Super nice. I know there's a hole back here. It's okay, no big deal. And anything that's from Amazon, I'll put in the link below. I've discovered so many things from other people's. But love that I can use this on the go. I can use it on a daily basis. I could also just turn this into a scrapbook one day, like I did in my 2 videos ago, where I just made my own journal. I can also end up doing that with this book, which I'm not going to lie, I want to put my trips in here from London, Scotland, I feel like that would be really pretty. So this may not end up being a traveler's notebook, but at least now I kind of showed you how you can make your own. Just, yeah. I'm going to use this little strap to close it up. I love it. I think it's so adorable. And you can also just loop this back in if you want. Tie it however you see fit. But I really ended up loving how this came out. I find it to be super cool, and come on, someone definitely is going to ask where you got this journal, and we just made it. So just check your closet, see if you have any old clothes that you may not even use anymore, that is maybe too old, tattered for donation. You can always repurpose it as a book cover, or if you have an old handbag, you can do that as well. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.